Hey, thanks so much for stopping by the YouTube channel of the Tech Geeks. We're a group of professionals based across Australia, New Zealand and the UK who love finding solutions for our customers. I hope you'll find some gold on this channel. We've got plenty of how-to guides. We've got plenty of knowledge that we've been sharing on how to set things up. Plenty of box openings here as well. This is all equipment and stuff that we actually deal with on a day-to-day basis while finding solutions for our customers. Each month, I try and find a little update that I can give you on where I think the stock is. That's probably mainly around sort of Australia and the UK, and where I think the market is going as a whole. So we're here in August 2026. Good 7 months now have already gone past of this year, which is incredible. And we're heading already now probably very quickly towards that Christmas period. Traditionally, because a lot of the manufacturing or the design stuff happens in the Northern Hemisphere, this sort of point in time is a little bit lull for new creation or new product entries. Certainly from vendors like Ubiquiti, we expect those to probably start coming in September, October and the latter part of the year. But what are we seeing across the whole space that we specialize in, which is networking, wireless, cybersecurity and CCTV cameras? We see obviously the uptake in AI. What does that do? What is that and doing? We've talked about it so many times. That is affecting stock levels of things like RAM, CPU, and storage, so hard drives. And we're seeing colossal increases, 30–40% increases in hard drives, the cost of hard drives, even over the last 3 or 4 months. So that is probably the one thing we've seen. What have we seen on the other side? We've seen the ability now to collect information and analyze it in a faster way. What are we trying to do? We're now trying to collect telemetry from as many pieces of equipment that we've got and be able to analyze it and give ourselves a better chance now at fighting this very quickly emerging security threat, which is coming from really what we call frictionless or very, very low cost to entry for people to actually try and find exploits. They can pretty much use an AI compliant coding system and within a short period of time try and build something that could essentially extract information from your network. So what do we see across all of this? We do see in this coming part of the year a increase in the speed of how the security vendors are offering solutions that start to tie together. We've talked about this for many years, a single pane of glass, the ability to see everything in one place. I think we're now seeing from vendors like Sophos the ability to collect and connect together multiple vendors, pieces of equipment and information to make a more holistic approach to everything that you have and be able to give you early warnings. So I think we're going to see many of the security vendors bringing us those early warning solutions that we can act on, whether it be from a switch, a router, whether it be from your computer or a server, that those can surface and be more readily available. So watch that as we head there in the market, because I think we're going to see a convergence, and few of those vendors that have been more based around hardware, maybe Ubiquiti, I think we will start to see them branch out and, you know, truly become more compliant in how they talk and get solutions to talk together, because they already have that infrastructure of switches and cameras and routers talking to each other. We can easily put another layer on there that gives us a security level. So it'll be interesting to watch. What do I see for security stock? This is simple. I think if you are buying anything that involves around storage, so think about a router, think about a camera, think about a switch, all of that needs RAM, and those prices are increasing. If you have projects coming up over the next 2 or 3 months, I would suggest you buy now. Certainly if you're thinking about buying larger hard drives. I'll give you an example. Some Western Digital Purple hard drives, even just 4 weeks ago, were about $1,299 retail for sort of a 22 terabyte hard drive. Those are now $2,000 per hard drive. That is an incredible increase of price just over a 4 or 6 week period. So if you're looking to buy storage, if you're looking to buy devices that include storage, probably I would buy it sooner than later just to secure those. That is probably my biggest thing right now. If I look across where we are, Ubiquiti flow is pretty good. Stock is holding. Even some of those new products are running through pretty quickly, and we'll keep saying 14 to 21 days and we'll have you those new items. Generally fairly easy to get hold of. Ruji, The Air Metro stuff has still had a little bit of a supply line issue, but the rest of it is again easily obtainable and no real issues there other than just watching that cost point. TP-Link got great portfolio. We've got some new cameras coming from Armada, so we start to see some of the stuff happen in their Fusion range. So we've got essentially a router or a controller with a built-in hard drive coming so that we can manage Armada cameras and VG cameras all in the same system. So watch out for that. But supply is really good in those areas. Smaller quantities of the new products, but again, fairly consistent. D-Link, good solid supply there that we've got as well. If you're looking at some of those specialist things like Ultra Labs, there's some new products coming there, and supply is a little bit slower of those, but again, still obtainable. So across those main sort of networking ones that we sell, there is sort of fairly good solid supply. If you're looking at something like Cisco Meraki, so we're looking across switches and routers, we have some products that we've just placed orders for customers, and they have timelines of the end of this year and early next year for some of them. Obviously, it's very specific on the certain item that you're after, but just be aware of that. Plan ahead. Having a think now, obviously, firewalls, I think we're seeing a mass move to a lot of software solutions, so those are instantly deliverable. We are seeing, obviously, some new versions of hardware come through, and that supply stays fairly consistent. Then we might look at sort of camera security. There is always a run of new cameras. What new functionality, new solutions that they can do, better ways of recording it and feeding it back, and especially those growing levels of AI protection. I think across all of the brands that we probably mainly see, whether that be D-Link, whether that be Vigi by TP-Link, whether that be Rio-Link, whether that be Ubiquiti, whether it be Watch AI, we see continual development and pretty good supply lines for those items as well. Hopefully that just gives you a very simple roundup. We are here in the middle of the year, so it can be a little bit quieter from the new product announcements, but it gives you an idea of where stock is at and where I see that maybe the market is going. And we're heading quickly towards that convergence of information, and that key thing people are now calling a control point. Anything that we get data from has the potential to be reported on. So this coming part of the end of the year and the beginning of next year is going to be quite exciting to see what vendors bring. So hopefully you enjoy being around this channel. Please hang out, do subscribe, and hopefully you find some useful information.